What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday! Hopefully everyone is doing well and having a great day so far. It's time now for the Thursday weather update for Thursday, November 14th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, this is where I do daily weather updates for the United States and sometimes talking about headlines around the world. We talk about tropical weather, severe weather, any other weather in between. Winter weather. Yes, we're coming into the winter, and we will be talking about some winter weather, at least in the longer range as we head into next week. Though first today, we have to talk about drought conditions, which are not going well. Before we get to that, if you're new to my channel, subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know, and leave your comments down below. Alright, New Jersey. Things continue to get worse when it comes to drought, and New Jersey is issuing its first drought warning since 2016. It says limits on water could come next, and they are saying it could take 10 inches of rain to meaningfully improve conditions in New Jersey, officials said, but forecast don't call for that, and my forecast and my thinking says you're not seeing 10 inches of rain, at least not in November, and between now and the end of the year, will they see 10 inches of precipitation? Can't answer that question, as who knows what could happen in December, but I can tell you the rest of November will not see anywhere near that much rainfall in New Jersey. They could see at least an inch of rain, though, before this month ends. That's if any of these systems actually pan out, and unfortunately, the system today is just to the south of New Jersey. Virginia, North Carolina, you are seeing the rainfall today. Let's take a look at the overall drought map. You can see some areas did have slight improvement. You do see some areas that are not dealing with drought anymore, but overall, there is a lot of work to be done here in the United States. Almost every corner of the United States is dealing with some way, shape, or form of drought. You can see the Northwest. If you're away from the coast, drought exists there. You can see western Texas, drought exists there. In the Southeast, well, there's some drought down there as well, and the Northeast. And the Midwest seem to be doing just about the worst right now, especially the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes, almost all the Great Lakes, has some sort of drought right now, with many places being moderate to severe drought at this point, which is not good. And extreme drought does exist in some places as well. New Jersey, as I just mentioned, you are dealing with extreme drought at this point. Thankfully, not seeing exceptional drought just yet, but who knows, if things don't get wetter soon, that could pop up within that red area. Taking a look at the satellite picture for the United States, here's that storm system. You got an area of energy over the Great Lakes that's going to transfer to the southeast. There's a blocking pattern. You can make it out here just a little bit. You can see this system is completely blocked from going northeast. There is literally a brick wall with the cloud cover over New York State and Long Island. You go into New England, it's completely sunny today. But to the southwest of that, we do have this storm system, which is going to quickly develop into an area of low pressure, a coastal system, somewhere right near Cape Hatteras and the Virginia coast, North Carolina coast. Get ready. You're going to see some wind and heavy rainfall amounts from this storm system. Everywhere else in between is quiet at this time, and the west coast still unsettled, but not as stormy as it was the past few days. Taking a look at the national hazards map, you can see here, not a whole lot going on in the United States right now, but we do have some things to take a look at here, and we do see here that there are some coastal flood advisories up for New Jersey, Delaware, the Delmarva. That's from that storm system that is going to develop off the Carolina, Virginia coast. And you can see here that we also do have some frost and freeze warnings up for portions of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Winter weather advisories up in the mountains of California at this time. All is quiet along the Gulf Coast, but of course, we are going to keep our eyes on what is now, yes, what is now Tropical Storm Sara. But I do have some good news about this storm system. Let's not get to the track just yet. Let's take a look at the latest numbers here. It says depression strengthens into Tropical Storm Sara as of the 1 p.m. update. It is moving west at 12 miles per hour. Minimum pressure is 999 millibars. Maximum sustained winds is 40 miles per hour. And there is some good news. The modeling has trended much weaker with this storm system. I mean, it's not just one model. It's all of the models have now trended towards this being a weaker storm. And you can see here, it's going to it's not going to really develop all that much. It's really unorganized right now, and it's going to stay unorganized as it goes west and eventually gets closer towards Mexico, and then it's going to enter the Gulf of Mexico as a depression, and it may not ever recover. And I will show you the current satellite picture. Yeah, here it is right here. It's just a big mess. They did find that it has a center of circulation somewhere within this mess that classifies it as Tropical Storm Sara, but really, it is not that organized at this time. Taking a look at the latest intensity guidance, yeah, the majority of it now don't even take it to a hurricane. Remember yesterday, we were seeing some that went all the way up into near major hurricane status? Yeah, a big weakening trend has occurred. It's going to interact with land more, which that's not going to help it. And you have to remember something. It is November. Should this have taken a better, more favorable track? Okay, it would have developed some, but it is November, so expectations for a tropical system have to be kept lower at this time of year because conditions are not as favorable as they were, say, just about a month ago. And there are still a few members that take this to hurricane status, but the Hurricane Center is even saying, hey, that is not looking likely now. Here's the latest tropical plots, and you can see many of them do take it into the Gulf of Mexico, and then a lot of them, it really weakens, and only a few go to Florida, but by the time it goes to Florida, it's going to be nothing more than just some heavy rain, maybe some winds, but the wind would be because you have that front that is going to come through thanks to a deepening trough. Here's the GFS. I'll show you this. Remember, the GFS was impressive at one time. There it goes over Mexico. Yeah, that's it. You can see right there, it is much weaker. It enters the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, just a few showers. Tries to redevelop. There is still some heavy rain with it, but watch what happens. Yeah, it's nothing more than, at most, maybe a remnant low or depression as it crosses Florida, which is a big change. And it's not just the GFS showing us. Here's the Canadian. Canadian, not so impressive. Almost looks like a line of thunderstorms on the Canadian. And can we see today's European here? Well, here's the 6Z. Let's go back to last night's European run, and I'll show you. Even the Euro as of last night. See what happens? Very unimpressive. 12Z Euro is very similar. Alright, let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. Today there is a marginal threat of severe weather across portions of North Carolina along the coast, including Wilmington, just northeast of Charleston, South Carolina, though portions of northeast South Carolina is included in this, and the threats for today are as follow. 2% tornado, wind 5%, no threats of hail for today. Beyond this, over the next couple of days, there is no threat of severe weather. However, on Sunday and Monday, there are two severe weather threats. First, on Sunday, there is a threat of severe weather for portions of central Texas, and then, as we head into Monday, there is also the threat of severe weather, both 15% slight risk areas. And this probably will get expanded into portions of Oklahoma on Monday. I've been talking about this for quite some time now, and it still looks like it is going to happen. Isolated tornado, wind, and a hail threat with this setup. Alright, taking a look at the precipitation for the next 1 through 7 days. Look real closely. You can see the Carolina-Virginia border. That's that coastal system. You can see the Cape of Carolina. You can see that there is really going to be some heavy rainfall. Localized, you can see 4+ inches of rainfall locally. 3 to 4+ inches of rainfall. And surrounding that, anywhere from 1.5 inches to up to 3 inches of rain. And then, as we head into the next 7 days, there's that next system that does develop across portions of Texas, straight on up through the central plains, Gulf Coast. You will see some rainfall. And some of that will be because of Sara interacting with that trough. But again, Sara itself, by the time it gets to the Gulf, if the models today are correct, is going to be much weaker. And we do see that things will be active in the northwest. Taking a look at the NAM model now for the rest of today, and we can see here comes that system that gets suppressed from Pennsylvania, quickly gets suppressed down into Virginia and North Carolina. Very heavy rainfall along the coast. And take a look at this in Maine. We do see some freezing rain or maybe even some sleet from an area of low pressure that will be backing westward because of an atmospheric traffic jam. Yes, the atmosphere is really blocked up right now. That's why this other system is being suppressed to the south. We also see on Friday a mountain snow event in Nevada, Idaho, maybe even portions of Wyoming and Montana, before at the end of the NAM run, here comes the next storm system on Saturday afternoon and evening, and that will last into portions of Sunday, where it'll be very wet and at times in the mountains, very heavy snow for portions of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. So yes, we'll be watching that, and some places could see quite a bit of snowfall, which is good news if you like snow in the higher elevations. Taking a look here at the GFS, and we are going to go into next week, and we can see on the GFS, for the most part, for much of the country, it is going to be a relatively quiet weekend. It's going to be feeling like fall on a lot of places, and as we head into the next week, that will remain the case for the east, but it's the central region we have to watch. Threats of thunderstorms on Sunday and Monday across portions of the plains. And if the GFS is right, I think that severe thunderstorm threat that the SPC did highlight for Monday could go all the way as far north as Kansas. And again, a few isolated tornadoes are possible with that. Here's that same low pressure we were talking about yesterday. It looks like it has trended west a little bit now, which means portions of the Dakotas have to watch for potentially some snowfall. Maybe western Minnesota still would see some snowfall. And here's what's left of Sara at around Wednesday of next week, Tuesday into Wednesday. And you can see not much happens with it, but there is the threat of some showers. I don't want to say moderate, steady rainfall, but some showers at this point across portions of the east and into New England. And behind that, look what happens. This upper level low sets up. This upper level air pattern sets up. And it really sits for several days next week. Now, the GFS is not as bullish as Euro. Here's the 12Z European model for that. And you will see, as I advance this, you can see there goes the storm system that goes into the upper Midwest and the northern plains. Snow for the Dakotas. And that system goes east. But look, another storm system gets going on the European as we head into Thursday of next week, and that would be a fairly impressive system. I mean, look at this. You're seeing very strong winds. You're seeing a tight pressure gradient, 990 millibar low, headed right near the Chicago area, and then it drifts to the west a little bit, and it doesn't move all that fast. And watch what happens. Cold weather. See? It turns into an upper level disturbance, and it just parks itself over the northeast for several days. And look what happens behind that. Another trough moves in. So this is a much different pattern than the above normal temperatures that we have been seeing. But there is one thing to take away from this. And that is, let me flip this to precipitation. We're still not talking about enough precipitation to end the drought conditions in the northeast. I could just extend this to the end of the European. Yes, you are seeing more rainfall, but this is over 360 hours. New Jersey, 1 to maybe an inch and 3/4 most being shown here. In New England, you are seeing a few isolated 2-inch amounts over the next few weeks, but again, this is not going to be enough to end the drought condition. For the rest of the country, you can see the Northwest will be still relatively active, probably over at least the next week or so. Southern California, not a lot of rainfall for you, and you do desperately need it. And then as we take a look here down in Florida, just your normal rainfall amounts, maybe slightly higher than normal across the Panhandle and portions of Georgia and Alabama. But overall, we're not looking at anything extreme happening other than this upper level low that's going to set up later next week and probably initially develop a pretty powerful storm system as it heads across the Great Lakes. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's weather update. You can follow me over at Climate Data Report over on X, and of course on the ever-growing Blue Sky. I know Blue Sky is becoming the big thing. If you don't have Blue Sky, you might want to get it because it is really starting to take off. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Want to see more content like this? Subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know. And of course, leave your comments down below. I will see you all again next time, which should be either tomorrow or Saturday. Until I see you again next time, have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching.